guess how those games went in terms of running the ball.
Yeah, I just think we were lacking in some areas of the game, and it starts up front, and we got to be better, whether it be our aiming points, getting vertical, right, just being more physical, whatever it might be, or just being together, right? Because a lot of people like to throw a lot of junk at us with how much we're going to run the ball, so we just got to be together and work together, and then hopefully KJ can pop them loose.
Yeah, because Maryland kind of has those same challenges, right? You would say.
Yeah, they'll show you a few different things. They'll stunt a little bit. They'll go from a 3 down front. They'll go to a 4 down front. So you're not sure exactly what you're going to get, and then you'll get some inside fire zone pressures and things like that. So we'll see what happens.
What changes for you guys? Does the quarterback change anything for the offensive line? Like who's under center?
Not really. No. I mean we're blocking the same guys regardless of who's under center, who's ever on the gun, right? So it doesn't really change a whole lot for us.
When you have a guy coming back from injury like Cade is, what do you guys need to do to make sure he's comfortable back there?
Hey, we just got to give him time and let him be confident because when he has time and he can throw and go through his progressions and things like that, he's a good quarterback. So we just got to give him time.
Have you been able to catch any of the Maryland offense this year? And if so, have you seen any Brian Ferentz fingerprints on that?
I haven't watched any of the Maryland offense, but I'm sure there's some things. Coach Brian was trying to implement things like that. His favorite player was always 23B, and we ran that, and yeah, that was kind of our identity for a while. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had a blast playing there.
Do you watch any football during the bye week? Like, are you sitting on the couch on Saturdays?
I watched a little bit, not a whole lot. I kind of just try to get away, but I watched a few games.
Any specific ones?
Rutgers, Maryland, watched that one, when we play them this week. And then I think, what else did I watch? Did Nebraska play this week?
Yeah, USC.
Yep, I watched a little bit of that game, that last play. Sheesh, bad call. Who else? I don't know. Those are the couple games that I watched.
Okay.
Yep.
Jay sort of set the tone a few weeks ago. After it might have been after UCLA or before UCLA. He said, "You can't take any day for granted. Any day could be your last," and that sort of has been what a lot of us are asking you about. Like, how do you take every day and not take it for granted? And even though you haven't reached your ultimate goals, still finish out the season with 100% buy-in and effort.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to always be in the moment and trying to appreciate everything you do. It's more so when you step back and we're like, man, I should appreciate that more. And I think a lot of guys, speaking for myself, I try to really embrace, what it means to play for, Coach Ferentz, Coach Barnett, and this university. It really is special, and I think a lot of the seniors especially, it's probably a little easier to just kind of appreciate what you have because, these past 4 or 5 years, man, they've gone by so quick and nothing's ever guaranteed. So these last 3 games, in a Hawkeye uniform, especially for the senior class, I know we're excited and, we're going to go out and play our hardest. And that's what you can expect from a lot of the guys on this team as well, too, because they appreciate being able to play here for the University of Iowa and how special it is and what it means to everybody. So,
given how close Council Bluffs is to Lincoln, do you have any in-season trash talk with any close family or friends that are maybe Nebraska fans?
Oh my gosh, everybody on the western side of the state I feel like is Nebraska fans. So, next week I'll definitely get some tags, a bunch of crap talk, and one of my high school teammates actually plays for Nebraska, Thomas Fedoni. He's their tight end. So, when that week comes, I'm sure there'll be a little trash talk going on.
But not before that week?
Probably not. No, I won't anyways. I might get tags, but I'm not going to talk any trash till that week comes.
With your offensive line, we were just talking to Caleb, and he's obviously a guy who gives so much credit to the offensive line whenever he scores. Is there some gratification involved when you guys are working so hard in the trenches every day? Is there gratification in seeing a guy get into the end zone as often as him and seeing him on the Doak Walker semifinalist and seeing him get so much credit?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely take a lot of pride in that. I think it's my favorite thing ever, just being able to see the number 2 just kind of striding out, for the end zone. It's the best feeling ever. Not only do we score, but, I get a breather, so I get to go on the sideline, catch my breath again. But, yeah, we do take a lot of pride in it, just especially seeing where, these past 2 years, how much we've grown, right? And, there was a lot of growth and a lot of ups and downs, but to be able to finally put some pieces together and do some good things, man, it feels good, and you take a lot of pride in that. So, yeah, there definitely is some gratification in that.
I know I've asked you some version of this question a million times, but what is it about the 5 guys on the line, even though you're the same dudes you were 2 years ago, you're the same dudes you were last year, what is it about this year that has turned you into one of the better units in the country?
I think it's just experience, right? And then practice as well. Coach Barnett, Coach Ferentz, Coach Lester, they're making practice really intense and hard for us. So, come Saturday, it's definitely going to be a little easier. But it's that experience piece. We've played together now 3 years, and we've grown so much, been through the ups and downs. And that's the only way you're ever going to be successful is if you experience failure. And we experienced a lot of that. We understood that we don't want to feel that way after those games anymore. And, this past off season and, spring ball, all those things, we worked really hard knowing what was out there for us. And, we're starting to reap the rewards a little bit with some success in the running game and the passing game as well. So, yeah, we just continue to get better, and we're going to continue to do so as well.
Coach Ferentz mentioned when Marshall Yonda came back, he talked about being molded through failure.
Yeah.
How much did that message resonate with the offensive line?
Man, just everything he said. He said being molded through failure, and then he just said the third thing he said was just you got to be a fighter, man. And that speech, it gave me goosebumps just being able to listen to him. And you see a guy like that walk in this building, being so humble, and he talked about it took him I think it was 5 years till his first Pro Bowl, and he said he didn't get his inside hand leverage until his 5th year. So I'm out here at practice thinking, I got to do this, and it took Marshall Yonda 5 years, and I'm thinking, oh man, I freaking suck. But Marshall Yonda, one of the greatest offensive linemen to play in the NFL, man, it took him 5 years. It just gives you kind of and step back a little bit and just be like, wow, maybe I'm not that bad, and I can do this. So it definitely just gives you a different point of view, and just to be able to listen to him, it was awesome. So that was pretty cool.